Welcome to City Wrestling Radio, February 13th, 2024. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined, as always, by the Wrestlemania dad you wish you all had, Mr. Jose Oseguera. Jose, how are you today?
Doing great, doing amazing, doing awesome. How are you doing, Mr. Smith? Oh, and how are our loyal fan base doing out there into interwebs? I'd like to know.
Yes.
Shoot me a message.
Yes, I mean, we've been away for a while. No, we did not ignore you like Brittany Mahomes ignoring, was it Jackson Mahomes? No, we didn't do that
No,
to you.
yeah.
We didn't do that to you. No, we've just been away
I'm
for
on the list. I'm on the list.
Yeah, the one thing I did love about that is just like her, she's like, whatever. And she just starts
Yeah.
dancing right
Oh,
there.
well.
She looked like an NPC. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
like that was over. Dance. Oh, I forgot I was doing something. Oh well, dance. Anyways,
That's great.
we've been back. We're back after a few months, full-time jobs and Christmas and well, it's my birthday. I mean, what can I say?
Oh, yeah. Happy
I had to
birthday.
travel the world. I'm now a fresh 37, ready to take on
Nice.
the world of journalism, wrestling journalism.
If you can call it that. Yeah.
I mean, I do have credibility. I mean, I'll try to do something in the actual journalism world, but if I could just do that to leverage into the wrestling journalism world and then get paid to do this one day,
Yeah, let's go.
that would be great. But nonetheless, we've been away, but we got a whole bunch to talk about. Some of this, a lot of this you've probably already heard about. But we're got Monday Night Raw to talk about. Let's talk a little bit of WrestleMania and some other stuff. So let's get into it. First off, Jose, let's talk about this WrestleMania build because I mean, it started off with Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble, pointing at Roman Reigns. I'm choosing you,
which could have been an audible.
Which I feel like I don't think so. I haven't heard a whole lot about that. I mean, I've heard rumors.
Yeah, the rumors that CM Punk was supposed to win, and since he got hurt, an audible was called. But that's a rumor. We don't know for sure.
I mean, with The Rock being back in the way it's taken this turn, it's all over the place.
Oh, definitely. But I do think that they did have a hard on for getting Roman to beat Hogan's record.
You think so? Like,
I think they had a hard on for that. Yeah.
At this point, though, man, they're so far anyways, to beat Hogan's record would be keeping the title on Roman past WrestleMania.
Yeah, well into the summer.
And so Cody, first off, I don't think Cody was supposed to point at Roman that night, said, I choose you.
Yeah.
I think he was supposed to point at both of them and say something like, I'm coming for one of you, or I don't know. But the next night, he gives up his spot to The Rock. Then it led to
the odd speech.
Which, I mean, saying he took counsel with another man, which is, I think, the whole thing that doesn't make sense about this. Whether you think it's a turn or it's a pivot, or it was planned all along, that's the one thing that's odd. If it was a pivot, sure, okay, everyone, we want Cody online. Let's erase time and go back. But if this was the plan all along to have Cody come out and saying, I spoke with somebody else, I'm not taking your title off at WrestleMania, but I spoke with somebody else who is, and then The Rock comes out,
Yeah. I don't think that was the actual plan, but the plan was Rock and Roman WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think personally. Yeah.
Which led to the WrestleMania XL press conference in Las Vegas after, about a good week of fans hashtagging We Want Cody, another subsection of the fans hashtag We Want Rocky. I mean, it got people really excited and riled up, but also distracted over some other things happening in the world.
Major
things, real life things happening in the world of WWE. Some call it Dwayne washing. What do you think about this? I mean, this is happening. This is all happening the same time as Vince McMahon. All those allegations, Ashley Massaro, the other victim, the alleged victim, you know what I mean? So do you think putting The Rock into the situation could be some sort of Dwayne washing?
Nah, you know what? You would think that, but I think it's a little bit more of a ego boost. It's a little bit more of a, man, I couldn't take over DC. Man, I couldn't take over XFL. Man, I couldn't take over NBC. What can I do? I know. I'll go back to what's tried and true, and that's WWE. Oh my God, just in time for WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
Awesome. And they've been teasing this thing for 2 years. We wanted Roman
Yeah.
and Rock for 2 years,
Yeah.
but now that we've all just embraced the fact that we're never going to get it, that's when he decides to give it to us when we're invested now in Cody. That's the odd point, right? I think he saw this Vince thing as an excuse to get in.
Yeah. No, okay. I can see that, well, also, just having The Rock there is a recognizable face, who on the board, putting him on the board, giving him $30 million worth of TKO stock.
Mhm.
I don't know. It gets people a little distracted. It's trying to put a fresh face over something that was disgusting,
Lipstick on a pig.
That's the phrase I was looking for. But anyways, this is all happening and led to the WrestleMania XL press conference where we were both watching. And at first I was a little worried because Seth Rollins came out first. And everyone's ripping on his suit. I'm sorry. I loved it. I love that.
That's Seth,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's who he
Yeah,
is. Come
but
on.
I love the suit. It's great. It was
Mhm.
like velvet green, and it looked like Hugh Hefner, another alleged disgusting person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but it was one of those smoking jackets. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Type of
mhm.
deal. And he came out first, and then called out Cody, which led to Roman coming out, then The Rock, which gave us a really good breakdown of the Samoan dynasty and the
They brought a
bloodline.
family tree out. Yeah.
Okay, was I the first person to know that these guys really weren't related? Like, I didn't I thought they were legit family. I thought they were legit blood.
According to the show, they're cousins.
Well, what you mean,
Roman and Rock?
yeah.
Is that what we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about? Are you
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Rock being
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
the
Roman
family
Roman and
tree?
Rock.
Yeah, the show portrayed them as cousins. I understood it that they were cousins all along.
Mhm. But, uh, according to Rock at the press conference, it was a blood oath taking by their
Mhm,
ancestors.
mhm.
So, technically, not related, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, led to Roman coming out and then eventually
Ew. Can we get a PDF of that family tree? I'd like to see that,
I
please.
really do too because I mean there was a lot of people on there that you wouldn't expect to see on there. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Naomi was on there. Jacob
Mhm.
Fatu was on there. Lance Anawa was on there. I'm probably
Hmm.
mispronounced that last name. Do I pronounce it right? Anawa?
I think so.
Anawa? Well, Rock can go ahead and slap me in the face too. I'll take it. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry, Rock. I'm not insulting your
it
family.
seems like all you have to do is bring up their name and he gets pissed off.
He reminds me of like someone's older brother that would like bully you, and then he got like really serious after he went to the military, you know, and then he
Yeah.
just lives a quote unquote clean life,
Mhm. Straight
and it's
edge.
just kind of an asshole though, but
Mhm.
drinks tequila all the time. Anyways,
Sure.
Cody said he chose Roman Reigns, and now here we are. It's Cody versus Roman at the main event of WrestleMania. I'm assuming night two. That would make the most sense, right?
Of course.
Um,
Of course.
but one thing I felt was interesting was when Triple H came out, he says, it all started 40 years ago. Four men, Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, and Mr. T, which, come on, Mr. T is the biggest star out of all of them.
Yes. At the time he was.
I still
Yes.
need to find, I have the Hogan from that night. I haven't found the Mr. T yet.
Ouch.
Figure.
Yeah, and only one of those people or anyone from WrestleMania 1 had a Super Bowl halftime commercial, and that would be Mr. T.
Oh, just gotta remind. He had a Super Bowl halftime commercial.
Well, Super Bowl commercial. I don't know if it was a
Oh
halftime.
yeah,
I
yeah,
forget
Super Bowl
when.
commercial.
He was there. He was there.
Sorry, I'm trying to block all that out of my head.
I feel
It's a
you.
little painful. Niners lost in the last, but that's what happens when your kicker doesn't kick a ball high enough.
Oh, Jesus. No loft. No loft on the ball.
Just saying, it wouldn't have
Mhm.
gone to overtime if we would have gotten that field goal.
It was the story of the season. It was the story of the season. Just put it that way.
Hot take over here, guys.
Yeah. Ooh.
Anyways,
Anyway.
But now it's
Sorry.
seemingly that Roman and Rock have joined forces, which to me it seems like we're getting some sort of tag out. I don't think we're gonna get Roman versus Rock
Dude,
anymore.
I think that was a big whoops. I don't think that that was supposed to happen.
What do you mean?
I think if anything, they were trying to pull off a three-way dance, but they backed themselves into a corner and fell into some shit.
Mhm. Mhm.
So now, like, Roman and Rock have to buddy buddy. I don't think that was the plan.
It's weird. It's definitely weird. Um,
And there's still time. There's still time. Things can go sour
and the one thing that
with the
worries me
family.
about that is, you mentioned something like, they really want them to break Hogan's streak, or they want
Mhm,
Roman to break Hogan's streak. Um, what if The Rock is essentially the solo Sikoa of this match, of
mhm,
Roman and Cody? What if he's the one to cost Cody the match, and
mhm,
keep the title on Roman next night following? Then he's acknowledging Roman as the tribal chief. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
Yeah,
Because then you get Roman and or sorry, Rock and Cody after that.
yeah.
So I don't know. That worries me about that. But on the other hand, there is talk. There's a lot of people talking. Maybe we're gonna get Roman and Rock versus Cody and Seth night one. But
Pull a double duty for 2 people because you gotta have, Seth, defending as well, right? Well, the only one that wouldn't do double duty is Rock.
right. Well, I mean, he would certainly be involved in that main event the next night. You
Yeah.
know, the only thing is how good to go will Seth be?
Mhm.
He's injured right now.
To go 2 nights? Ugh.
Exactly, and I don't think it's fair for Seth to do that.
Mhm. They're really asking a lot of Seth right now without him getting any, rewards.
And everyone's shitting on him too. Like everyone is shitting on him. Roman's just like
Dude, and
shitting on him left and
yeah,
right. Everyone else just like doesn't like nobody cares about that title. It's a beautiful
yeah.
title. I love that
Mhm,
belt. Like
mhm.
I think it looks great. But
Yeah, and I like to give Seth some props because for 2 weeks in a row, he's come with some standout promos. 2nd week in a row.
yeah. So I mean, to me, I would have maybe, but then you don't get a rock match. Now we don't get a rock match. I don't know. This all just seems
I
really
don't know.
weird.
You saw how blowed up he was that last time he came out and did a couple
This
moves.
all just seems really weird,
People's elbow.
Jose.
That people's elbow. Whew.
Yeah. I just they tease a rock match. Now we don't get a rock match. You know what I mean? And maybe they're playing the long game. Maybe this goes until SummerSlam. Maybe we get
Yeah. Yeah, I think these guys are really this is gonna be this was and is gonna be the biggest WrestleMania in history, you know? It's XL for crying out loud. They're really backpedaling into a pile of money
yeah,
is what they're doing. What happens after WrestleMania, I think that's more important.
after
Do they
WrestleMania.
keep yeah, at the day after
Oh yeah,
WrestleMania, what happens to Raw after WrestleMania? That is the most important show of the year so far.
no, definitely, it's setting the stage for the entire year going forward. Um, no, I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, to me, I don't know. I think this is a pivot, man. It seems like they
Oh,
put
yeah,
they put
yeah.
Rock in this situation to get some eyes on the product, get some money because yet
I don't think it needed it.
well, Punk was out,
Mhm.
Seth was
Yeah.
almost out. What else do you do at that situation? And their idea, get Rock in there.
Mhm.
Um, I digress, though. It is what it is. But the focus has been on the main event so far. Like, there's so much more of Mania that has not been filled out yet. Like, so
Mhm.
far, we do have Roman and Cody, Bailey and Io Sky, who Rhea Ripley kept calling Io Shirai at the press conference. And I was
Cool.
like, for a second, I thought they changed her name back, but no,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I liked
they
it.
did not. But you got current champions. You got Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Gunther, Logan Paul, Judgment Day, and Kabuki Warriors. Jose, I'm going to give you the books here. How
Hmm.
do you think, like some of these champions are going? Because you have to have all these people defend at Mania.
Yeah, yeah. Rhea Ripley looks like she's gonna go with Becky with all the hints that they're dropping.
Yes.
Gunther, I don't know if Jay is an option, but I really hope it is because you can't have a guy named Main Event Jay and not have a title ever, a singles
Yeah.
title. Put the Intercontinental title on that guy at WrestleMania. Judgment Day, yeah. Our Truth, what? They have no legitimate contenders. When's Damian Priest going to cash in?
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
to do it at some point. Yeah, there's a bunch that I like to see, but a lot that there's just not enough seeds have been planted. We have to wait till after Elimination Chamber.
Well,
We have
you
to.
know, you see, like you said, our truth. They're definitely building to something with him, and with the Miz, I think they're getting ready to have them win the titles um off Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
To
Yeah.
me, that's gonna be our truth's last like run with like actual good
Mhm.
run. Like I think this is gonna be his reward for what he did for that 24/7 title because
Yeah.
he literally took something that was trash and made treasure out of it, you know?
Literally, yeah.
And so even didn't he find it in the trash can at one point?
Oh, dude, that might have been a hardcore title, but maybe.
Yeah.
I don't. My memory isn't what it was.
Yeah, I don't know, but okay, so you got Seth. Okay, you got the people challenging in the elimination chamber.
Mhm,
And so I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be Drew McIntyre taking
mhm,
on Seth. Rhea Ripley agreed. Becky Lynch, they're definitely
mhm,
planting that. Gunther. Here's the thing: is Gunther? It's been announced next week is going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther
mhm.
for the title. And while, of course, it's
Shenanigans.
yeah, because the uh the New Day and Jay won tonight over Imperium, but to me that begs the question, what about after that? And you got
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber a little over a week from tonight. This is the go home show for Elimination Chamber, you know?
Mhm.
Um he could win the title there, but it feels very nothing, beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing that is you could see happen is remember Braun Breaker was called into Adam Pierce's office a couple weeks ago,
Mm,
and
yeah.
he was like, "I'll pay you anything. Just get over here, little dog face Gremlin. Just as long as you're
So,
not as
icy shot
transphobic as your dad."
Hitler?
Sorry, what?
Just I forgot. No, so he's enticing him with an IC title shot? That's
I
interesting.
can see it, man. I mean, he did. Didn't
Yeah.
he throw out Gunther at the? Did he, or did Gunther throw him out? I can't remember. That was too
I don't
long ago.
remember. Yeah, 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 it was. It was a whole month ago.
Um, Logan Paul, I mean, they're probably building him
Yeah.
and KO. But one
Again,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. KO's cool, and KO is
yeah,
like one of those guys who's like funny and everyone likes him, but like he just doesn't seem like super exciting. Like he doesn't excite me when I
yeah.
watch him on TV. I'm just like,
Mhm,
"Oh, he's like vanilla ice cream." Like I like
mhm,
it, but it's not like my number one choice. I would never go to the store to buy vanilla ice cream, but if somebody
mhm.
gave me vanilla ice cream, I'd say, "Sure, I'll have some."
If it's an it, okay.
Yeah, exactly. But, it just him and Logan Paul, it will probably happen again. They're both in qualifying matches next week, I think or this week on SmackDown for Elimination Chamber, which is probably that's what'll lead for them this in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
But Kabuki Warrior, and I also agree, sorry, or saying R-Truth and Miz. And then Kabuki Warriors, I mean, I would like to see some sort of women's tag team, not gauntlet match, but some sort of tag team battle royal for
Mhm.
that. I mean, we don't need a Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal anymore. I think that's a little played out.
Yeah.
And if they
And do it day 1, day 2, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And they could have a battle royal both night. You Andre the Giant one day for the men, the women's tag team battle royal for the women.
Put it on the pre-show. But yeah,
Well, yeah.
good idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
both of them will definitely be on the
The
pre-show.
Yeah, I think this Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura program should last through WrestleMania, so I hope that survives. I really like Shinsuke's doing nowadays. I like what they're doing with Shinsuke, I should say.
Definitely got they're like giving him more freedom, you know.
And
Definitely.
if they pull out an NXT match, holy shit.
I mean, did they were around the same time. I think Sami Zayn was just
They
kind
had
of
a banger.
did
They
they
had a banger.
probably one of the
Yeah.
NXT takeovers. Yeah.
Mhm,
Well,
mhm.
I mean, whatever happens, I mean, like you said, the day after WrestleMania is one huge day. Because that's what they're all building towards. Day after
Mhm.
WrestleMania, they're closing the chapter on this year. And after that, who's going to show up? You know, like who's
Hmm.
going to show up WWE? Is anyone going to show up WWE? Because there's one person that has
Hmm.
been who's leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling.
The lead free agent of the year.
And no, it's not Mercedes Moné. Guys, calm down.
No.
Because
Yes.
she's doing big business with AEW. I'm pretty 99.99999% sure that's Sasha
Yeah.
Banks coming in.
Did you see that Super Bowl picture of
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Mercedes Moné, Bailey, Trinity Fatu, Trinity Fatu, and Dr. Britt Baker. Yes, DMD. She was in all black. I did love that. She's one of those people. She's
Mhm.
smart too. She's not going to show up in Steelers gear.
Yeah.
But you know who was also at the Super Bowl?
Hmm.
Tony Khan.
Oh, really?
Yes, which I thought was interesting. Who was hanging out with those girls?
Hmm.
Two of their
Who is
top women's division stars. Well, I mean,
eh,
You got Mercedes Moné, who's expected to go to AEW, and you got Dr. Britt
mhm.
Baker, and then you got Tony Khan in another part of the stadium. Hey, man, that sounds like big business right there.
It sure does.
I mean, I that being said, I don't when I see people that work at other radio stations, I'm not like, hey, buddy, you
Yeah.
want to come work at a news station? They're
Y
like, no.
you know, yeah, yeah, my wife said something the other day, said, which has been true for forever since the inception of pro wrestling, it's pro wrestling is very incestuous.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's a lot of businesses or industries that are like that. You know, I just mentioned working in the
Mhm,
radio industry, and that's one thing people say about the radio industry is that it is very incestuous. People go back and
mhm,
forth, and they'll be with one
yeah,
person, and they'll go back to the other company. But nonetheless, not talking about Mercedes Monet and her 49ers gear. I'm talking about one Kazuchika Okada or Kazuchika Okada, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Don't harp on me.
hmm,
Go listen to his interviews. He'll tell you how to say it. But after defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi in what was thought to be his last match in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Okada is set to have his second round of final matches. February 23rd, we'll see Okada, Ishii, Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Yo versus Jeff Cobb, Great Khan, Aaron Hanare, Francisco Akira, and Callum Newman. In his final match will be on February 24th. Okada will team up with Hiroshi Tanahashi, Ishii, Goto, and Yoshihashi against the barefooted bro himself, Matt Riddle, Jeff Cobb, Great Khan, Hanare, and was it Francisco Akira? Yes.
mhm,
But yeah, man, you know, it's speculates lots highly speculated that he's going to AEW. I'll put it
mhm.
like that. That's the word on the street. And with Mercedes going there, Okada going there. But call me crazy. There's one thing that WWE does that they did with CM Punk. And you remember before CM Punk came in, they were
Yes.
Shinsuke was doing the GTS.
Mhm.
Uh, on Raw this last night, Gunther did a Rainmaker, and I know it's just a ripcord lariat, but to me, it stuck out to me, and I don't know why it stuck out to me. You know, something like that usually wouldn't, but it did. And
Yeah.
I thought, is this something that they're just planting in our heads? You know, could we get Gunther versus Okada for the title?
Oh, that Mania? Shit, okay, sell me some tickets.
But where do you think he's going, Jose?
Last week they also did the thing with JD,
JD
and
McDonough?
he had the ball of money, and he did what? He made it rain on himself.
Oh, right. See, that's another one, man.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, JD McDonough.
um, you know, Okada fits better in AEW. Um, I really don't want to see him start off in NXT. This is a main roster guy, man. You don't
Yeah.
put him in the minor leagues with people that work the way they do. If you thought NXT was green, right now today, 2024, they are uber green. They are Kermit the Frog green.
Eh,
You can't put Okada in that mix. You can't.
Yeah, Okada's not on the same level as over as he is and as good as he is. He's not at the same level as Trick Williams.
Mhm.
Okada is far superior to this guy.
Yes. And, it's not a dig at NXT. Everyone has to be green at their profession at some point.
Yes, yes, ev
These guys are beginning their careers. Okada is well into veteran status. I do not wanna see him mixed in that deck.
yeah. So, yes, he does. I mean, I don't know. He fits in a little bit. He fits in more in AEW.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and God, you know what? AEW, they kind of need him, man. Their
Mhm,
their ratings. I don't say their ratings are falling because they're not really. They're kind of steady. But it just the excitement for the show, man, for me has really gone downhill. Like I barely watch Collision. I never watch Rampage.
I never watched
I'll
Rampage.
catch Dynamite when I can,
Mhm,
but also there's just like a lot of things that are just like everyone is just like it's getting to be like TNA. Not when TNA was all over the fucking place.
mhm,
So
mhm,
adding Okada to that mix would definitely give it that boost of adrenaline that it needs. That being said, Okada can go to AEW in New Japan. Okada could do all this shit. Does he want to just keep
mhm,
doing the same thing? Like, I don't know. If I was given the opportunity, hey Corey, do you want to work at this one radio station that you worked at forever, or and you
mhm,
make a little bit more money, or do you want to go work at the national radio station, make a bunch more money, and then get to work that WrestleMania press conference that you've always wanted to go to, or something like that?
mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think money's gonna be a deciding factor here because I think Tony and, the W are gonna throw, the bank at him, right?
Definitely,
Either way,
definitely.
he's gonna have a great payday no matter who he picks. Now, does he want the lights and cameras and the action and the confetti and the
Does
spectacle
the gu-
that WWE
does the
provides?
guy who has money raining from the ceiling want the spectacle? Yeah,
Probably, right?
probably
Yeah.
yes.
Um, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Do I have a favorite? I mean, I would much rather see him at AEW, but that's because I kind of favor the pro wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
I won't be mad at him if he goes to WWE
I
though. But that's my wants and
I
needs.
think he would be handled better in WWE. I think he'd be given a goal, especially in this WWE. Vince's WWE,
Mhm.
no, he would have been what was that character he's playing on Impact that was like the Green Hornet character that they made him out to be?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know yeah, yeah, yeah.
It would have been like that. He would have been Shinsuke's
Hmm.
like older brother if Vince was still around.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
Vince is gone. And
Mhm.
this new regime has taken time to implement their stories and they are doing long-term storylines. I honestly
Hmm.
think WWE would be the best place for Kazuchika Okada right now. He wants that
Uh,
WrestleMania moment, and they can give it to him
mhm.
right now. Give him Gunther,
Yes.
give him that IC title, give the man what he wants, make it rain in Florida, and his wife can still do her voiceover work, and it'll be all good.
Can you imagine Okada coming in to save Cody from peril?
That would be pretty cool.
Freaking awesome.
Well,
And, they you pair Cody with Okada and they have history. Do they have history? They have some history, right? They,
they
overlap.
wrestled, they wrestled.
Yeah, and their history kinda overlapped in New Japan, right?
Yeah, I think I went to go see them live. I was pulling for Cody, but he
Okay,
got his ass kicked.
there you go. Um, I mean, yeah. So it'd be a great WrestleMania moment for everyone.
Here's another thing I was thinking of. Last week AJ Styles was beaten by Drew McIntyre to get into the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, yeah,
What's AJ
right?
doing for Mania? And AJ Okada would be that match that holy shit, we're getting AJ Styles and Kazuchika Okada at WrestleMania.
I don't think WWE wants to feed that beast because they truly believe that their fans are a different, they're a different, mark than we are, right?
Nah, Triple
Um,
H is one of I'll say like Triple H is one of us, okay? In the sense that he probably would hate us on
okay.
the street if he saw us, but as a wrestling fan, I think he
Mhm.
does actually like wrestling. He enjoys,
Yeah.
unlike Vince. It was all business for him.
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
Triple H actually enjoys wrestling.
He enjoys the work rate, yeah. Yeah, you're selling me, man. You're selling me.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and so another question too, is Triple
Hmm.
H planning on wrestling at Mania?
Oh, no, 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 no. Please, Triple H, keep your ass on the bench. Please.
Rocky, only one man makes the choices around here. Calling out Rocky on not calling him out, but like he was like, one man makes the choices around here, Rock. And he doesn't sit at any part of the table, and it's me.
Yeah, that's it. Please, you know, you have a heart to think about Triple H there, Paulie.
He does have
Paul.
a pacemaker in there, so
Yeah, man, be
and I
careful.
don't think he's in ring shape. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's go over some of the main points from Monday Night Raw last night. Like I said, man, they're teasing that main event. They're teasing that Seth Rollins came out and said when Cody came out and gave his speech about how he's going to go after the Roman, but then he has some unfinished business with The Rock. And Seth came out and was like, "Hey, man, I understand that you are going with Roman, but if you need any backup, I'm right here." So
A shield, so to speak.
it could be some sort of, run in, like if The Rock runs in, then Seth runs in to stop The Rock or something.
And then Okada runs in.
But to me, I thought that was more teasing the tag team match. I don't know.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah, totally.
We eventually did get a Andrade video package hinting
Oh,
at
I'm
his
so happy
return.
about this. Yeah.
And I'm guessing he would have to be if they're teasing him now, I don't think they would tease him until after Mania. Do you think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's his no? They're starting really early, so he may have a match at Mania.
It's like 59 days away, I think they said. 58 days away now because it's
Yeah,
Tuesday.
going after that U.S. title one more time would be a good idea.
That's very true. In one of the Elimination Chamber qualifiers, Bobby Lashley defeated Big Bronson Reed, who I think I think they keep calling him Big Bronson Reed. I don't think he's that tall. I think he's like our height. Like I think he's like 5'11".
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't quote me on that, but I think that's why they keep calling him Big Bronson Reed. Liv Morgan defeated Zoe Stark to qualify for the Elimination Chamber.
Think we sell back.
Mr. J.D. McDonald, J.D. McDonough defeated R-Truth, and I guess the Judgment Day went for a beatdown on Truth after the match. Priest didn't really go for a beatdown, avoided a hit from Truth, and then DIY came down. And then Truth later in the night was making a bunch of jokes about DX and he's saying, "Oh, no, thanks," because DIY came out and he's like, "Oh, thanks DX, suck it, ha 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 ha." R-Truth, he's about 90. He's got 99% of him is great and is great comedy. And I think there's always that 1% you're like,
well, they can't all be zingers, right? One cool thing that happened maybe last week or 2 weeks ago is Miz during his promo trying to figure out R-Truth. He says something to the effect of, "Well, is he really this dumb or is he an effing genius?"
Yes, I would like to see him after Mania. I want Miz to be in the back holding both those titles on each shoulder, looking smug and be like, "Truth, how did you pull it off?" And he's like, "Dog, you think I'm dumb?" Like,
yeah.
He goes, "This was all a plan all along to get into the Judgment Day and get these titles for us." Because when I was watching Rumble, my girlfriend looked over at me. It was the women's Rumble when he come out in number 24, and she said something along the lines of like, "Does this man have dementia? Like, is that his character? Does his character have dementia?" And I was like, "No,
he's a genius.
No, he's just
he's gifted."
Anyways, LA Knight qualified for the Elimination Chamber.
I still don't get it.
Well, I feel like his time has come and gone.
Yeah.
He was there for like a little bit, and they just need to move him into that mid-card position. Get the US title on him, I think a better match for Logan Paul would be him.
Yeah, I mean,
having Logan Paul versus LA Knight, having LA Knight to be the one to take the title off him. I don't know. I think that would be a better match, and
that would really give your loyalists, your WWE loyalists, you'll give them some fruits of their labors for all their dedication to LA Knight. Here's your reward. Thanks for right along.
Got some matches announced for next week in Anaheim for Raw. Cody Rhodes is going to be taking on Drew McIntyre. Like I said earlier, Jey Uso versus Gunther for the IC title. DIY R-Truth and The Miz versus Judgment Day. And then we're going to get a last chance battle royal qualifier for the women's elimination chamber. So, and then we got Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Sami Zayn tonight in a match. And this, I don't know. I feel like Sami Zayn's turning heel soon. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, because he's been looking like he's getting angrier and angrier. I mean, unless it's gonna be some sort of him and Drew, because if they put the title on Drew at Mania, which I think they are gonna put the title on Drew at Mania, but I also think they're taking it off of him at Mania. I think we're getting a cash in at Mania because I mean,
cool, let's do it.
When else would they, have him just, completely, even maybe like go to Rhea and ask for them to help, and then have them after the match, have him cash in on him and put the title on Damian Priest. I think it's about time. People like Damian Priest, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's over like a mug.
Like at first, when he first came in, he was pretty stiff and he was pretty quiet, but he's really opened up and he seems a lot more comfortable on the screen. Like just his character, you feel a little bit of him when he's talking to R-Truth. Like you feel that like he actually kind of likes this guy,
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But before WrestleMania, we got Elimination Chamber coming up, and
oh boy,
I mean it's a little over a week, and we'll still have a show before then. But we only have 4 matches announced, and this is as Austin Powers' way, Squid Pro Row for wrestling.
And this will be the second event in a row that we have only 4 or 5 matches, right?
Well, they are going to be longer matches. You are going to get the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, which.
Right, totally. But we're just getting off of a Rumble where it was only 2 matches squishing the 2 Rumbles. So,
which I did think was a little weird. I felt like they could have had an Intercontinental title match. I felt like they could have done this or that. They are seeming a little smaller, Yeah. Like, are all the big 5s going to turn into 2 nights? And if so, then sure. But even with Mania, if it's 2 nights and only 5 matches on each, I don't know. I don't want 2 nights with like 13 matches on each night, but
I want a spectacle for at least one of those nights. Yeah,
I think 6 on each night, and I think a good show should have about 6 matches.
Yeah, some diversity.
I say that, but remember all those NXT takeovers were all 5 matches, and they were all great.
Sure, but those were maybe 2.5 hour events, 3 hour events.
Yeah,
with Mania, you're looking to fill 4 hours at least.
That's true. Over 2 nights.
Yeah.
So, as of right now for Elimination Chamber, we do have a tag team title match with which is going to be the team of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, British Strong Style, taking on Judgment Day, which, come on, they're not going to win. Becky Lynch in the Women's Elimination Chamber, we have, as of right now, only Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan, and 3 TBDs in there. So, any thoughts on that, Jose?
Shayna Baszler deserves a chance.
I think so, yes. And maybe Jade. Maybe they could put Jade Cargill in there.
It's probably not going to happen, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because Nia Jax is already wrestling Rhea Ripley, and they might put Asuka in there or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a smart move. Or Dakota. I don't think.
Well, no, she's not gonna be. There were. I don't remember who they were, but there was a picture. There was a title that they put up that with 2 matches and a 3-way, and Shayna Baszler was in that 3-way with Zoe Stark and somebody else, and then there were 2 other slots. I don't remember who they were. I'm sorry, guys. Drop the ball.
How dare you?
Kind of like the punt return team for the Niners. Anyways,
Rhea Ripley's taking on Nia Jax. She's gonna defend her title. Hopefully, she'll beat Nia Jax, because if she doesn't, I will be very mad. Not very mad, but like be like, oh, I didn't like that move. I didn't like that choice. Come on. And then the men's Elimination Chamber right now: Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, and 2 TBDs. But we still have, I believe it's Logan Paul taking on The Miz in a qualifying match, and Kevin Owens, I believe, is going to be taking on Dominic Mysterio.
Tom or Nick?
I believe Tom. Tom, this one. Right. Nick's the bigger one. But what do you think of this card? You a little small right now?
It is. I want a couple more matches in there. But with your heavyweight champion hurt and your never competing universal champion, doing your universal champion stuff. Damn, the main event of this show is Elimination Chamber, what it's named after. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. Yeah, we
Mhm.
need more content.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do we? We're gonna be like those guys. What was that? Is it Wally when they were like in the floating chairs and they're just like looking at the screens? I think
Mhm.
as wrestling fans, that would be pretty convenient. I'm just saying, if I could just do the podcast from there. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
that would work.
something random that just crossed my mind. I don't know. I want to talk about this. How has this
Hmm.
man? You see this guy? You see Jushin Thunder Liger? How
Yes.
has he never been involved with Super Sentai? Power Rangers. I'm just saying, man. I was looking up the other day. How has he never been a villain? He should have been a villain or a teammate of the Power Rangers. I'm just saying, man. Anyways,
Wow.
sorry. It's been bugging me for a few days.
No, I agree with you. Jeez, that's a missed
It
opportunity.
really was. Like he would have been perfect in any one of those things. And
Can you imagine him in ginormic mode?
yeah, have him first. You'd have him be an enemy, and then he would like
Mhm.
be like, "Wait, you guys are good. I'm your teammates now. I am Jushin Thunder
Yeah,
Liger."
yeah, there you go.
Anyways, some it's getting to some sad, depressing news. All the good stuff's out of the way, but
Okay.
let's get into
Let,
some
let's
super unfortunate news.
pull the ripcord on this show and let's bring it to a screeching halt.
So, former WWE star Billy Jack Haynes is now in custody and expected to be charged with murder. That's per the Portland police. Real name William Albert Haynes Jr., that's Billy Jack Haynes, is in police custody at this time. He was identified as a suspect in a deadly shooting in which Jeanette, was it Baycroft, 85 years old, was killed by a apparent gunshot wound. Um, Bancroft was Hayes' wife. Tactical teams responded to reports of a shooting at the home of in the Lentz neighborhood on February 8th. Officers went into the home and took the suspect, later identified as Haynes, into custody. In an update, the Portland police reports that Haynes is in a local hospital being treated for a medical condition that is not related to the homicide or his contact with law enforcement.
CT, CT.
Could be, could be. The report, we don't know. We don't know at all.
We don't
We
know.
don't
We
know.
don't. We don't.
The report notes that once Haynes is released, he is expected to be booked into jail. Which, if there was something that they were questioning, if they were questioning CTE, you would expect he would be some sort of mental evaluation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, his charges will be released once he is booked. Haynes wrestled in WWE in '95, and also in a brief stint, or he last wrestled in WWE, or he last, sorry, rewind. He's big in the
Mm.
Portland wrestling scene, and I guess he last wrestled in '95, but he wrestled for WWE '86 to '88. Do you remember this guy at
Ah,
all? Or like, I definitely don't.
somewhat. I think he used to wear wraps around his arms, a la Ultimate Warrior. I think Ultimate Warrior probably got the idea from him. Um, yeah, he was, your standard WWE wrestler from that
Yeah.
time.
So yeah, and it's a weird story too, because from what I've heard of the whole situation, so apparently a few years ago he had a buddy, and his buddy like died, and I don't know how his buddy died, but his friend died,
Mhm.
and the woman, the guy's mother, was this woman. Like Billy Jack Haynes ended up
Mm.
marrying the guy's mother afterward,
What?
and now she's died of a gunshot wound,
Yeah.
and it seems very strange. I don't know the circumstances to which his friend died years ago,
Mhm.
so I can't sit here and say like, "Whoa, what happened there?" Like it could have been just a heart attack,
Mhm.
but it's all very, very, very strange. And I guess we'll keep you guys updated with the situation. I want to get a little bit more into it. Hopefully, with somebody on air one of these days, maybe one of the reporters covering this, get them on with us, just to kind
Mm.
of have them break down everything that they know going
Mhm.
forward. So,
Yeah. If not, wait till 2026, Dark Side of the Ring.
yeah. And I didn't put this in there, but we're gonna end on some happy news today, Jose.
All right, let's do it.
So Jackson Swellen, he's a hero.
Hmm.
So
Pray tell.
the 15-year-old high school student who also goes by the name Boom is Brian Pillman's grandson and Lexus King's nephew.
Ah.
He's a hero, though. The Uvalde Foundation for Kids has announced Swollen will receive its National Student Hero Award for helping stop a planned mass casualty event at Marymount High School in Cincinnati recently.
Hmm.
So, a 14-year-old student has been charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated murder in relation to the case. The student is also said to have conspired with an out-of-state adult believed to be around the ages of 22 to 24. Authorities referred to this case as a credible plot to harm students and staff. The student said to have had access to a weapon in their home and a kill list of 8 students and 1 teacher. Upon learning of the plan, I'll just say it because he's a hero. Our hero, Boom, notified his father. Despite having been threatened by the students to not tell anyone, his father quickly notified police. He said the kid had firearms and had a very elaborate plan and had every intention of carrying out the plan, said Swollen's father, Zach Swollen. He said, my son, he doesn't lie. He's very literal. I could tell by his tone. And it was told to my son that if he disclosed anything about the plan to anybody, he would be shot and killed. But my son,
Jeez.
he said, but my son literally told me he didn't care if he was killed as long as he protected his classmates. So, yeah, King took to social media on Monday to say how proud of his nephew he was. He said he went online and says, this is my nephew, Jackson Swollen. As you probably can tell, he's got the genes in him of his late grandfather, Flying Brian Pillman. But he was just saying how proud of him he was, retweeting the link to the story.
All right.
So, end on a high note,
Good stuff, kid. Way to go.
Well, your video is frozen. Well, that's a good time to end, right? All right. Well, let's get out of here. Getting our bearings back. For City Wrestling Radio, I am Corey Smith. And we will see you next time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.